Actually.
Sitting down with us right now. Always a treat to get to chat with Padres pitching coach Ruben Niebla. Ruben, it is great to see you. You're looking very fit and healthy.
You look great.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys look great.
Thank
Are you
you.
kidding me? I feel bad about myself sitting next to you
Come
guys.
on, get out of here. Flattery will get you everywhere. Ruben, how are you, man?
I'm doing great.
How's
Really
camp?
excited.
How's camp been?
Go very smoothly. It's going.
Good.
Yeah.
A lot of work
very
for you.
impressed. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of pitchers, right?
A lot of
we're,
pitchers.
We're close to 40 pitchers in camp, and so you got to organize all those guys, make sure they're all getting looks.
We had a funny moment this morning. We talked to Kyle Hart for the first time, and I said, I'm sure you were excited to come and work with Ruben. He said, absolutely, one of the reasons I signed. And he said, and I started kind of bending in his ear already, and Ruben said, we'll get to you. We're fine. We'll just hang on.
Relax.
Slow down. Yeah, slow
Slow
down a
down.
little bit.
I think that, it's important for them to be themselves when they get here. You get a little bit further, and what you want to get done. The plan is there. It's just I want to make sure that he's in the right mindset to be able to execute it.
And again, with 40 pitchers that you're working with, everybody has a different personality. Everybody has different stuff. Everybody has different stuff they want to do.
Right.
Ruben, I want to learn this. Can you teach me this? I mean, how much of is it like drinking from a fire hose sometimes?
It is a little bit, but at the same time, you got to be organized. You got to be organized when you come into these settings, when you know this is going to happen. You got to have a plan, and most importantly, you've got to make sure that the player understands the plan.
Yeah.
When they understand themselves and who they are and what they're capable of doing and where their limitations might be, it's a lot easier to have those conversations.
Yeah, on that note, we've seen a couple of guys who have arrived in the organization, and they learn a new pitch when they get here, maybe a sweeper. But how does that process work? Do you just go one day, okay, you're going to learn the sweeper? Or do you see like, all right, this guy might have an aptitude for this certain pitch? I mean, adding a pitch is not just like flipping a switch and a light bulb goes on.
Right. No, yeah, there's a little science to it.
Yeah.
Different deliveries, different arm actions, different arm slots create different shapes. And what you want to do, and the way I go about business is, what is their best pitch right now? How do we complement that pitch?
Yeah.
And so once you start identifying their aptitude and their ability, are they supinators? Are they pronators? Do they fly open? Do they stay closed? All this stuff. Once you start identifying that, you kind of have to start making sense of what the guy can probably benefit from.
Well, we've already heard, we've heard a bunch of guys being mentioned already from guys out here, guys that have faced, the Bradley Rodriguez's of the world and some guys that you're probably really excited about. The thing is these days, Ruben, is everybody throws hard. I was watching a video of a kid. I think he was a sophomore in high school the other day, and he's pumping 96.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I remember in high school, if the guy threw 85, you're like, we're dead. We're not hitting this guy tonight. I mean, it is truly amazing how much velo is going on out here. For you, what impresses you the most? I mean, everybody's got a big arm. Everybody's got a big arm out here. But when you're watching a guy, what impresses you the most as a pitching coach?
Be surprised. It's probably the toughest thing to identify is the competitiveness.
Nice.
Like, I want a guy that's going to be out there, is going to get punched in the mouth and know what to do with that.
Right.
And I think that's one of the things that, it's the toughest to probably teach.
Yeah.
And so that's, once they come with that competitiveness, that toughness, that grittiness, once they come with that, it's like, okay, let's start shaping around that. I know that's something that every pitcher wants to do, but
they don't all have it. That's the thing. And is that something that you feel like you can teach, or is that something that's kind of inborn in them?
Hey, it's tough to teach, but you can get guys build their confidence, and a lot of times confidence comes with success.
Yeah.
Or does success come
with confidence, right?
And so you got to be able to know which one it is.
It's the same for hitters. I mean, you go up to the plate thinking you're going to do damage. You're more likely to, but yeah, I guess I never thought of it that way.
When AJ brings in new pitchers, I assume he'll consult with you a little bit, but it does feel like some of the newcomers, like Nick Pivetta, Kyle Hart, again, who we met earlier, have a bit of that edge and intensity to them. That seems like maybe that's a deliberate strategy of the organization and AJ to bring more of those guys in.
Right. I think we do a pretty good job identifying those guys. It's going to be tough to have 15 Joe Musgroves running around.
Right.
But I think that overall, we have a core group of guys that are competitors, that are fiery, that want to win. And so that's hopefully that builds the fire around the staff.
So with your bullpen, the way that it's shaping up now, I mean, I think the fan who is not here every day, the fan that just watches, and you can be a hardcore fan. And I look at myself as a hardcore fan, but I would have no idea how to select, hey, man, we might have a couple of spots in the bullpen. This guy throws really hard. We should give him a shot. Sean Reynolds is a great example.
Right.
That guy he is absolutely nasty. I was so bummed to hear he's got the stress reaction in his foot, because I was looking at him this year, and it still may happen, as a guy that, kind of flew on the scene, had a little command issues in the minors, and then got to the big leagues and was dominant.
Right.
So for you, as you're rounding out your bullpen, filling it out, how tempting is it to just get the guy that just throws as hard as he can?
It would be very tempting, but I need guys that throw strikes.
There you go.
And so, I mean, you want to. A bullpen also is built around guys that have different attributes, right? So different slots, different shapes.
Yeah.
They're able to match up. So you have the Alec Jacob,
I was just gonna bring him up.
is a great example. Guy that fits great into a bullpen because of his uniqueness.
Yeah.
You have Morhone, you have Peralta, you have Matsui, Jason Adam, you have Suarez, all those guys.
He's giving you all their slots.
All the slots.
Great.
I'm giving all the slots. So they all come from different, and they all create different shapes for the most part.
Yeah.
So that is also like a attribute of a good bullpen.
And then there's the knuckleball.
Then there's the knuckleball.
Is there anything
There's nothing that I
can do with Matt Waldron?
There's nothing that like I said.
Well, it's not only him. It's you can put any catcher back there for any of those other guys. You got to find the right catcher, and it's got the knuckleball's got to be working.
Right.
Matty Waldron is it's a marvel to see when it works.
It's a beauty.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
He is so locked in this spring right now.
I love that.
And the reason is he's throwing the knuckleball in the strike zone more consistently. We've changed a little bit of what he's doing in between outings. We actually gave him his own personal catcher now.
So there's something you can do.
Oh yeah, there is. Yeah, I guess there is. But as far as he gets on the mound, if he's throwing a bullpen, there's another guy next to him. I go, Matty, go throw the knuckleball, buddy.
Yeah,
I'm going to work with this guy over here, and he's perfectly fine with that. He's embraced it now.
What is in his case? I read an interesting piece about him last year. He had a lot of success, and honestly, we don't make the playoffs without Matty Waldron, in my opinion. I mean, the way he kind of carried it in that stretch, and then I read, maybe he lost a little bit of confidence, or what is the reluctance to just get up there and throw the knuckleball every single time until you find it?
Yeah, I think the knuckleball is one of those pitches that, just like anything else, if it's not in the strike zone, Matty knows that he had a fastball, a sweeper, a cutter that he can throw in the strike zone.
Yeah.
So he would fall back into that pattern.
Got it.
So what we have to do is be able to help Matty get that knuckleball in the strike zone more consistently, so that he wants to throw it.
Sure.
We just need it to be more competitive more often.
And I'd imagine, it takes a lot of courage. For any of them to get up there. We saw what happened with Cole Paplam, just awful, a few days ago. But to go up there with major league hitters and now we'll throw this ball pretty easy over the middle and trust that it's gonna, it's gonna move, because if it doesn't, they're gonna hit it really hard. And I'm standing 60 feet 6 inches away. That takes some courage to do that as well.
Yeah, it also takes courage to say, the catcher doesn't even want to call it a catch it.
Oh, that's true.
That means that the hitter probably doesn't want to see it.
Yeah, that's so true. So true, man. Yeah, there's a look. There's a lot to love about what you guys have going this year. So you're looking at, you got your first four, assuming injury, no injury bug rears its ugly head. For I love the competition for the fifth spot. For you as a pitching coach, how does that work? Watching these guys on a daily basis. Will you guys all get in a room at some point and say, that's the guy. That's the guy at the end. And then this is, do you all have to agree on it, or who makes that ultimate call?
I'm not sure.
Just text me.
I'll text you. I'll text you guys. We'll do a poll.
We can do a Twitter poll.
Yeah, there you go.
Let me guess. Mike makes the ultimate call, but if you strongly recommend something, he's the kind of guy that's going to listen to you about that sort of thing.
I think we have side-off conversations, and then, I think at the end of the day, AJ is in charge of putting this team together and the roster together, and guys fight for positions, stuff like that, and he's going to ultimately help us make the final decision.
Well, and again, it's so fluid. How many starters did you guys use last year? 8 starters.
Only 8.
That's not a lot.
Right.
But and we've heard that message before. It takes more than 5 to get through a season for sure. And how do you feel right now about the depth of your starting rotation, 5 and beyond?
Yeah, I really like where we're at. I mean, you're looking at Matt Waldron, you're looking at Kyle Hart, you're looking at Randy Vasquez, Brito, Kolick is now in the mix.
Yep.
So you've got some guys that you can pick from there. We just signed Wes Benjamin as well, and so there's guys that we can definitely lean on there. And some of those guys might end up in our bullpen,
sure,
right, as long guys. So it's a nice little competition, and I'm going to enjoy it. Yeah.
Well, Ruben, I wanted to thank you again for appearing on our Christmas and holiday extravaganza show. That was really fun to have you on that day, and now it's great to see you in person here at spring training. So thank you.
Good to see you guys.
Keep up the good work, my friend.
Thank you. How good looking you guys are.
Thank you so much. Like I said, flattery will get you everywhere.